Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm Wibbert. This is one of my builds. Today's title is gonna be ramping up growth, and there's two parts to the title. My city was growing last week already and I'm gonna be increasing that growth a bit. And the other thing is that I'm doing some slope-based a slope-based neighborhood with some ramps in it, so I thought it would be semi-funny, I guess. I don't think it's really funny, but it kind of fitted the theme of the episode to use the word ramp. So it actually took me way too long to come up with a title for this video. I do think I did a very nice build, and I think it looks amazing, but I just didn't know what was a catchy name to give such a build. I don't know. But so anyways, here you can see me using some of this is a new mod that I installed, and when I installed it straight out of the box, it had one part of it that was a bit, I wouldn't say broken, because it was functioning quite normally, but it had a little bit of a graphical thing where one of the sides of the corner pieces would not show the custom texture and would just show the foundation texture. So I went into the lot editor and moved a prop that he used for the custom texture, and I had to, it was pretty finicky. It took me a couple of hours, I think, to fix that prop and make sure that the fences align decently, because if you look real closely here, you can see that the fences aren't absolutely aligned. I think that's not that big of a deal, because in real life I guess fences might also not be absolutely aligned. Kinda depends. But yeah, in the end I think it looks alright on this zoom level. If you zoom out though, it does become a bit, I don't know, it seems like some of the props are glitching out a little bit. I guess they're overhanging on farther zoom outs, and yeah, you don't notice it on the fly, but when doing the thumbnail for this video, not the thumbnail actually, just doing part of the intro, I did zoom in because I was looking for inspiration, and then I noticed that there was some streaking caused by some overlapping props. You can see the darker streaks if you look real closely right now. Alright, so I started up with an idea here. I did test this idea before starting this video, so it isn't luck that everything here is working out, although in the end I did end up freestyling most of it. I just started with the idea of doing these terraced different levels on the slope, and I did know already that I wanted to integrate some tram lines as well, spoilers I guess. And I also experimented ahead of time with some with how to do this transition in terms of connecting it to the upper level. And even though I did experiment, I didn't remember exactly all the details, so it's still a bit of a try again I guess kind of deal. But I did know how I wanted to do this slope, and I did know how I wanted to do this bit, because I didn't just want to have a green slope in the middle of whatever was gonna grow there, so I decided to just decorate it with some more of those, I guess you could call them retaining walls, that's probably the best name. And they are part of the set that's called on slope parking, or parking on slope, and I think they look pretty good. They use the prop that they use for the custom brick kind of stuff is actually from Met325B. He uses it in his it's a terminal. What kind of terminal? It's a cruise ship terminal. So yeah, the model who made this, I forgot his name, but he adapted it to also work with this nice set of yeah, I guess on-slope parking is part of the set, but I think the set is a good idea, but I do miss diagonals, and yeah, I do think diagonals are nice, but I also want to like vary the... I'm sorry, my phone was going off. I'm gonna mute it right now. I also want to vary yeah, the different textures of the retaining wall kind of stuff, right? So that's why I'm using oh, it seems like the fence is sticking through the wall over there. Okay, that's just gonna be a thing, I guess. Let's just roleplay that it's like advertising that people put on there. So here I'm starting to zone a little bit, and as you can see, the zoning changes the height of the stuff a bit, which is a bit annoying, and I don't know, once something grows there it's gonna be fine, so not a big deal. And yeah, this area is gonna be pretty big in terms of residential capacity. But as you could see earlier, I had a brown box, and then I believe I cut out a bit of me. Well, I didn't cut it out, I just didn't record me going to desktop and looking for the dependencies and restarting SimCity 4. But I found the dependencies, so now you can see these nice little buildings. They are part of Latin American high-rises or something like that, something about Latin American. And I just this is just the first couple of buildings that are gonna be growing off that set. I think it's like 8 different buildings. I'm not sure what zone sizes they use, but I think it's a pretty nice set of buildings. I tend to like sets of buildings more because it makes you download just one thing instead of 8 or 10 or whatever number of things, and B, because a set of buildings tends to have a more consistent look across them, and yeah, that's just the style of city I'm going for, where things look like they are connected in a certain way. Here I was doing some increase in power capacity, so I put down a bigger plant and just cancelled that industrial area that I was planning for. I think the power plant looks nice there anyways, but the area does need some new decorations, but I'll do that later. I'm focused on this new residential area. And in between episodes I also recognized, because I was like just checking out my city and I heard some gunshots, and I was like, oh, I guess there's a bit of crime there. And then yeah, I just kept hearing the gunshots, so I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should address the crime issue a bit in the future episode. So I decided to just build a police station. This one's a modded police station. It's made by Met325B, and what he does with his police stations is that he gives the cars, or the patrol units, I guess is what you'd call them, he gives them a longer distance that they can travel, and more specifically walk, before they give up looking for the crime. And that helps you because SimCity 4 has like at least in vanilla there's like the problem with big lots, like the what's a big lot? The zoo is one. I think the university and the golf course are the most notorious ones, but those big lots tend to have like a den of crime and whatnot, and that's just because the police vehicles run out of time before they can reach the location. So how does that work? I did some research in between the videos, and how it works is that a police vehicle has a set amount of tiles that they can, well, a set amount of time, I guess, is what you could see it as, that they can travel. And part of that can be in the car, which is of course the more efficient expenditure of time versus traveling. And part of that can be when walking, and once they start walking, they just stop searching pretty fast. So big airports is also one of the culprits. These big lots have like a pretty long space that you need to walk before you can reach the impacted crime area. And the problem with that is that the police cars in vanilla can walk like only 4 tiles at most. And a lot of these big lots are bigger than 4 tiles, so you kind of need a modded police station or something like that. And you might say that it's like cheating to have like a modded police station like that, but personally I feel that it's still pretty balanced because it has a limited jail capacity, so you still need to build more stations as you have more crime problems. While doing that research into the crime stuff, I also learned that the best way to stop crime is not just to build police stations, but to educate your Sims. Because the smarter they get, the smaller the portion of Sims actually commit crimes. So the higher your educational quotient in your city, the less crime you'll have, and you can actually abolish crime almost entirely without police. And I'm not sure if you don't put police down, because you're still playing a simulator game where you want to be realistic about things. But you can almost abolish all crime with just it's still an expensive endeavor, of course, to educate your Sims, but by focusing on that you can also fix the crime in your cities. So that's pretty much what I'm doing here. I'm keeping an eye on the educational buildings and whether they have enough funding, and that's pretty much. I only have elementary schools and high schools, but I also learned in my research that you don't really need every building at the start of the game, because up until like a educational quotient of 120 or something, it doesn't really make sense to build anything else. And once my graph reaches near that, I think I'll consider first doing a college, because I did install a new college building, but I forgot the dependencies. And no, it's not a college, it's actually a museum. So I'll do a museum because I did install a museum building, but I forgot the dependencies, and so that's why I'm not showing it up in this video. Next video, I hope I'll think about it. We'll have to see. So I'll probably do a college, a library, and like a museum. I think I'd also like a custom library, because the vanilla library is just, I've seen it, and I do like to see new things when I build a city like this. That's why I'm doing this weird stuff with these walls and stuff. It's not really weird. I saw a screenshot of somebody who built something similar but on a smaller scale, I suppose, and I was like, yeah, that looks pretty epic. I'll try to make something cool with that. And I think in the end this looks pretty cool already. And yeah, thinking ahead, I still want to somehow get my rail line into like a station somewhere, maybe 2 stations. So I've been thinking about that. And I also want to get it onto the left side of the city, so I can like simulate a connection to the outer world. And also because rail traffic is, I guess, more efficient than just using trams. The trams are pretty good, but they have a lower speed than trains. So I would like to somehow get the train across, and I think what I'm gonna end up doing is, not in this video of course, but what I'm gonna end up doing is to replace some of the houses that are like next to the water, a bit south of from here, and to just put a rail line parallel to the road for a bit, make it dig into the ground a bit, and then just use some viaducts and stuff to make it cross the roads and whatnot. It would be in the way. That road's gonna change as well. We'll see that in the future. Anyways, here's some closing shots. It was a pretty quick build. I did a bunch of preparation and I got some footage out, of course, of me just scrolling through menus. And yeah, I think I'm trying to focus more on doing these quick little builds rather than doing a video of 1.5 hours, because I think yeah, these are more interesting to look at, and this is just some chill footage of some cars driving through the neighborhood. You can see some homes being built, and here's a different angle. It looks pretty cool from this angle as well, I think. And yeah, you can also see the neighborhood we built last time. A lot of those diagonal wall-to-wall stuff actually started growing. In between videos I set some of them to historic so they wouldn't get removed whenever something new wanted to grow there. I guess in between the start of this video and now some more of them grew, so I might have to do that again in between videos. And there's also some non-diagonal wall-to-wall stuff, and yeah, I don't know, I think that comes together pretty nicely, but there does seem to be a difference in scale when you look at the diagonal homes and the non-diagonal homes. I'm just gonna accept that for what it is. And you can see that a bit better here, I suppose. You can see, yeah, the homes look a bit smaller than the diagonal ones. But whatever. It doesn't all have to be super realistic. And here's a close-up of a little tram station that I built. It's part of the network add-on mod. And the new trams, you might have noticed, I have new trams installed. I'm not sure, it's something VDK made, and I've been shopping for new trams for a bit because yeah, as I said last video, it seemed kinda hard to find some good ones, but I think these are pretty good. So anyways, this has been another video, another build. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'd like to see you again. Goodbye.